Good day, here are the headlines from the Philippine News Agency. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has invited Australia to work with the Philippines in boosting climate change efforts and improving the renewable energy industry. At the ASEAN-Australia Special Summit Leaders Plenary Session in Melbourne on Wednesday, President Marcos said the Philippines is creating investments in the country's sources of renewable energy. He also says the government is taking bold and decisive actions, both domestically and in international fora, to address the country's vulnerability to the harsh effects of climate change. Meanwhile, President Marcos urged Australia to continue its support for the ASEAN Center for Biodiversity and its goals towards conservation and management beyond 2024. In September last year, President Marcos and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese signed the Joint Declaration on Strategic Partnership. The elevated partnership aims to deepen cooperation in a range of areas, including climate action, education, development, and people-to-people exchanges. Shifting gears now, the Philippine government has ordered China to immediately remove its vessels near Ayungin Shoal following the latest incident of harassment against Philippine vessels. The Department of Foreign Affairs summoned Chinese Deputy Chief of Mission Zhou Ziyong on Tuesday to raise protest on the latest incident. During the meeting, the Philippines stressed that China's actions inside its exclusive economic zone are unacceptable. DFA Deputy Assistant Secretary Rafael Hermoso reiterated that Ayungin Shoal is within the Philippines' EEZ and continental shelf, and the country's actions there are routine and lawful. The DFA said the 1982 UNCLOS and the 2016 Arbitral Award recognize the Philippines' sovereign rights over the area. Reports said that Chinese vessels blocking and maneuvering led to CCG vessel 21555 colliding and damaging the Philippine Coast Guard's BRP Sindangan. Later on, another CCG vessel blocked and collided with the resupply boat Unaiza May 4. 4 of its crew members were hurt after CCG vessels 21555 and 21551 pounded the boat with water cannons that shattered its windshield. Several foreign missions in the Philippines expressed concern over the incident and rebuked China for its aggression. They also called for restraint and a peaceful resolution of the dispute. Mayon volcano is now on alert level 1 after the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology lowered its alert level from level 2 on Tuesday afternoon. As of this morning, Phivolcs reported 2 volcanic earthquakes as well as a faint crater glow from Mayon. As of Tuesday, 420 tons of sulfur dioxide flux with moderate emission reaching 250 meters tall, drifting north-northeast, north-northwest, and northeast were reported. In its 5:30 p.m. bulletin yesterday, Phivolcs reported a steady decline in monitored activities, including lava growth and weakening of sulfur dioxide emissions and degassing plumes. However, Phivolcs warns Mayon's unrest may not have completely ceased. Thus, entry into the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone remains prohibited due to the possibility of rockfalls, avalanches, and sudden eruption at the summit area. Aviation authorities are urged to advise pilots to avoid flying close to the volcano's summit to avoid ash that can be hazardous to aircraft. Former First Lady Imelda Marcos is in good spirits despite having slight pneumonia and a fever, according to President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. The president, who is attending the ASEAN-Australia Summit in Melbourne, said he was able to talk with his mother's attending physicians. He says the former First Lady was given antibiotics and is now resting well. The president thanked his fellow Filipinos for their concern and prayers for his mother's immediate recovery. His sister, Senator Amy Marcos, earlier announced that their 94-year-old mother was hospitalized due to suspected pneumonia and is being closely monitored for fever and cough. The Embassy of India in the Philippines has launched the India-Philippine Tech Summit to strengthen economic and strategic collaboration between the two countries. During the event, Indian Ambassador to Manila Shambhu Kumaran highlighted the importance of collaboration for developing countries amid the growth of artificial intelligence. He says the event would bring Indian entrepreneurs and their success stories in the digital space in the Philippines. Meanwhile, Secretary Ivan John Uy of the Department of Information and Communications Technology or DICT underscored the government's commitment to maintaining partnerships with the private sector. He says the summit is a fitting renewal of cooperation and celebration of the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two nations. To date, several agreements are currently under negotiation with the Indian government on cybersecurity and digital transformation. The one-day summit gathered around 300 participants from agriculture, healthcare, fintech companies, as well as representatives from Philippine government agencies and private businesses. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the PNA Headlines. For more news updates, please visit our website pna.gov.ph or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The PNA Headlines is also streamed via the Silvicio Facebook page. You may also watch the PNA Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account, via the News and Information Bureau website, nib.gov.ph under PNA News, or on the Facebook page of the Presidential Communications Office or PCO. I am Bench Bondoc. This is the PNA Headlines, bringing stories that unite the nation.